Welcome to the first video on this channel. On this channel, I will be playing card games like Elestrals, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Bloons Card Storm. This first video is of a clash from the October 15th in-app casual event. I do make a few mistakes here, and that's because of not being used to using a manual simulator. I'm used to automatic ones that do everything for you. These are also skills I will need to pick up for physical, but yeah, with that being said, I'll try to walk through all of the effects as they happen, and I hope that helps anyone that's new. I felt as if this game went pretty well and is the best showing of my deck for the event. And you'll see why here in a minute. My opponent is going to mulligan, and I will not need to because my hand is already decent. So that's good for me. I'm already up 2 spirits. And I accidentally opened up the menu there. Don't mind that. The first thing I will do is normal cast Ask Rapid, and it'll be in defense, cause why not? That'll allow me to look at the top 3 cards of my deck and add one to my hand. And I will add Ambrosia for later because I don't really need anything else out of that hit. But yeah, as you'll see, this is where I make my first mistake because I don't shuffle my deck. Instead, I go for the Mount Olympus, which is a decent play, but I should have shuffled my deck first. I'll set an Altar of the Stars and I'll end my turn. We'll see what they do here. Their first turn, I think they just set pass, unless I'm misremembering. No, they go first away. Okay, so they're going to search from their deck a Solar Elestral, and I believe they go into Drataya. And of course, that gets destroyed. They activate Apollo and enchant some solar spirits to that. And they will be using that effect shortly. Let's go gambling. Apollo foretells some cards and then adds one. And of course, they're going to go into that Jataya I mentioned earlier. And I believe they activate that effect this turn, actually. We'll see here. Since it's a manual app, it's a little slower pace, so I'm struggling to really find much to commentate on. But they do go for that effect, which does activate Jataya, as I do not have a response. Drataya is going to add 1 spirit from the underworld, back to their spirit deck. Recouping a little for that mulligan earlier. 2 spirits, sorry. My bad. You see a judge pop in there. Nothing much, just checking in. I am going to go for the Elestrals, adding the man himself after I do so. Since this does not get negated here. I add, of course, the God of Gods. This is a little sneak peek of my deck here. I go ahead and activate that Zeus after revealing it. And I don't go for the full enchant, just a little bit. Nothing too greedy. My deck is decently demanding on Thunder Spirits. And of course we go to battle, and I just attack Drataya. And of course that Elechick is a 5 with the help of Mount Olympus, but Elechick gets bounced back as a result of shield. Here, I believe, is when you'll see a bug. That Thunder Spirit, I cannot move it to the Underworld, even though it should have went there by itself. See, I fumble around a bit here, trying to move it, get rid of it. This does come up later when this game goes to time. Beautiful finish to this game, might I add. But yeah, I just can't get rid of the Thunder Spirit. And I even asked my opponent, and he sees it too. So we just agree to kind of ignore it, since we can't do much about it. You see, I'm still trying to remove it, trying to get Elechick into Elestrals Zone 2, but it goes to 3 instead. So that spirit is just taking a zone for some reason. And then I just add Elechick back to my hand. I put the Zaptor back in my spirit deck. Since at this point I've just acknowledged I can't really do anything about that. That Zaptor is just there in the second Elestral zone. Nothing I can do. But thankfully that doesn't cause any issues, really. We just -1 spirit from whatever gets put there later. And that seemed to work out. I believe here we're discussing about it. They go for that Apollo effect again. And I'm checking my back row. Got 2 altar, deciding if I want to use it or not. It will come up later. And I do get some pretty nice plays with the Ass Rabbit. They're going to reveal what they added. They are going to expend there and cast Tadpuff. Tadpuff lets you special cast it if you expend. So that's why they were able to do that there. And they actually go into a 2-drop this turn. This is pretty important, and you'll see why they did this later. Remember, solar, water. Bit of waiting around here. It's just because it's manual. It's a little slower paced. You have to mess around with the buttons to really get things working here. I believe... What are they going for here? I believe they go for the Dritaya. Since they have not went for that this turn, they are going to Nexus onto their 2-drop. This is very important. They have a reason to want to do this. And then they're going to go into their battle phase. On their battle phase, I activate Altar of the Stars and turn their 2-drop into defense. This lets me Nexus from Zeus to Astrapid. In Astrapid, anytime it receives a Thunder, gets to activate its effect. So this is pretty good value for me. I stop them from destroying one of my minions, and I get that effect again. Pretty decent hits here too. I just grab that Fun Glow as it's part of my engine. And by the way, that Astrapid is now at 7 defense. Pretty big. I go for the Fun Glow here since I have everything I need to set it up. Just need that Thunderstorm. And I have 2 of those, actually. I don't recall if I used that second one or not. But I do go for that Thunderstorm. Of course. And I pop Apollo. It doesn't really matter to get rid of that, but activating Fun Glow's effect is pretty important for me. So at the end of the day, it's worth it just to spend the spirits on that. I have Ambro in hand, so I don't really care. After that Apollo gets popped, I am going to activate Fun Glow. And Fun Glow gets triggered here, since Thunderstorm was properly resolved and cast. That'll give me Bronto Glow. Bronto Glow is able to special cast off of that. I just put that in Elestrals Zone 2 since, well, I can put a normal cast into that 4th or that 2nd zone for some reason. So just ignore the 3rd spirit on that. That's a 2 spirit from Bronto Glow. I go for that Ambrosia. I don't have 3 Zaptors. I didn't realize that. But that's okay. I just add Zaptor for mine. I go for battle here. I get rid of that Drataya. And they have no response, of course. So I'm doing pretty decent right now. 10 to 8 spirits. And then I just pass. And I finally remembered about that Ambro. They're going to activate Pot of Greed to draw 2 cards from their deck. Quite the play there. No one quite knows what that card does. But they have the knowledge. The nectar, if you will. We'll see what they do with that 2 cards. Let's see, we're just waiting here again. Manual, button pressing, thinking, you know. It is a casual event after all. Oh, I believe another technical issue pops up here. So actually, mobile Discord sometimes will kick you out for no reason, and it kicked me out, and that comes up later. Judges get interested. I eventually have to end up joining back to the call, explaining this situation, but they go into they go for the Chronodile line, and that is why they are on water and solar. From here, we just play on for a little bit and just speaking through the app. What I should have done is immediately joined back in the Discord call, though. Yeah, as you can see here, I suggest we just continue playing like nothing happens. This was a mistake, of course. I should have just joined the call once more, and no issues would have been caused. Fortunately, nothing ended up happening. The judges were pretty understanding of all of this. The staff as well. They didn't seem to really mind, which is good for me. And my opponent too, of course. But it was a little bit awkward. No, but they do have that Chronodile, and they will go for that effect to Special Ascend to Chronodile. That is why they're on Solar and Water. That guy has a lot of spirits. Here a judge comes in and tries to get us back on call, and I will end up leaving the app to join call again, but I'll leave that out of the video. From that point on, not too much happens, but it is worth noting they did go for Bow of Apollo and try to swing as a desperation attempt. That second Thunderstorm did come up. As you can see, my deck is mostly Thunder, with the exception of Spirits, which I have for my side decking. And that didn't come up during this event because it was best of one. If I wanted to be truly optimal, I would max out on Zapdos. But I want to have a deck I can just use in, best of one and best of three scenarios, so I figure it's okay taking a bit of a hit in optimization there. With that being said, did you guys enjoy the clash? I know I sure did. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this type of content. Thank you and goodbye.
It's time to